Hi, I'm Jim with Stickley on Security, and today I'm going to talk to you about using strong, unique passwords. Now, most people already understand the need for a strong password whenever they create an online account. The problem comes in when they have that one strong password and they use that password on every account they have. Today I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can create a strong password, and more importantly, I'm going to give you tips on how you can make that password unique for every single account you have. You've probably already created a strong password at some point in time. And a strong password has both upper and lowercase letters, as well as numbers, and then some sort of unique characters, such as an @ symbol, or an exclamation point, or a pound symbol. When you have all of these combined, and you have a minimum of 8 characters, that creates what's known as a strong password. The problem is, if you have 20 different unique accounts out there, and you're supposed to create one of these types of passwords with all these crazy characters in it, for every one of those accounts, it becomes almost impossible for you to remember. The problem with using one password for every account is that it can potentially be stolen. Let's say, for example, that you create an account at one site, and then a hacker breaks into that particular site and steals the database with all the information. Now, in that information, they're going to have both your login and your password. Now, let's say, for example, that your login was your email address, which happens to be used at a lot of major sites around the world. Now they have your login, which is your email address, and they have your password. Now they could take that information and just start trying it at other sites. So let's say I stole it at, ABC site. And now I'm going to take that email address and I'm going to take that password and I'm going to go over to Amazon.com and I'm going to try it there. If you happen to use the same password, I'm now going to be able to log in there. From there I can go over to PayPal and maybe start making purchases with your account and move from site to site to site using that email address that I've stolen and that one password that you've used at all of your accounts. As I mentioned earlier, attempting to remember a strong password for 20 or 30 unique accounts becomes kind of unrealistic. Most people choose to download an application and install it either on their home PC or on their mobile device, and that application allows them to store all of their account information for every account they have. So they can put some sort of a marker and say, this is for this account, the login is this, the password is this, and they do it for every account they have. Then they have a master password that sits just on that particular application, and as long as they remember that one password, they can then get access to all their other passwords. I'm personally not a fan of this application. Any of these solutions that are out there have a major risk, and that's if a hacker can get a hold of your one password to get into that application, they now have access to every account password you have. For me, that's too big of a risk to take. I understand some people are going to choose to use this, and it's better than nothing, but it is a major risk, because again, if a hacker gets that one password, you're out of luck. Instead, I recommend a very different approach. First, come up with a strong password that's 7 characters long. And again, that should be upper and lowercase letters, it should have numbers, and it should also have some of those wacky characters such as the @ symbol or an exclamation point or something like that. Now, once you have those 7 characters, you memorize those. Those are going to be the base for your password on every single account you have. Now, once you have that, then what you're going to do is every time you go to a new account, use a portion of the domain name in your password. So if you went to PayPal.com, you would have your first 7 characters, and those would be your unique, crazy characters that you'd have. Then you might have the next 3 characters be the first 3 letters of the domain name. So if the domain name was PayPal.com, it'd be PAY. So now you have your password plus PAY. If you went to Amazon, it'd be AMA. If you went to eBay, it'd be EBA. And if you tack that on to your strong password, no matter where you go, your password will always be unique. Plus, it'll be easy for you to remember, because now you're at that domain name and just look up and you go, okay, it's going to be these first 3 characters. I know that already. Now, if I'm a hacker and I break into one site and I steal your account and I get your password, all I'm going to see is a bunch of crazy letters and characters and 3 letters at the end. I'm not going to have any idea that those 3 letters are tied directly to the domain name. More importantly, if I go and try that one password at a different site, it's not going to work. And I'm not going to go, oh, I wonder if they just happen to randomly choose some characters out of the domain name to put into the password at the end of every single one. It just won't happen, which means you're going to be secure and they're not going to be able to figure out what you're doing for all of your accounts. For you, it makes it really simple because you have this password. All you have to do is remember the first 7 characters. They're unique and strong, which makes it good for you. And then any site you go to, just tack in those 3 letters. Now, that's just one example. You could easily do the last 3 letters or 2 letters or every other letter or whatever happens to be of the domain name. But again, it's something that when you look at the website, you'll always be able to remember, I'm at this site, I use this system, so this is how I'm going to put it into my password. If you use that simple tip, you're going to always have a unique password, you're going to be able to remember it, and if a hacker steals it at one site, they're not going to be able to use it anywhere else. So to recap, strong passwords are extremely important to keeping your information secure. That said, you need to make sure you use a unique password for every account that you have. If you follow the tips I gave you today, it should be relatively easy for you to have a strong password and be able to remember that unique password for every single account. As always, spend a little time, do a little research, and protect yourself so you don't become the next victim of identity theft. I'm Jim for Stickley on Security. Have a great day.